I said 2 weeks ago we need to close above the halfway mark of the sweet spots here, of this long black candles we saw on the weekly charts on cryptos. Yesterday I said they're disappointing because they didn't do it last week, but they're pushing those levels now. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for another trading day, and today I'm going to look again at cryptocurrencies hitting those crucial weekly levels. A little bit on Brent oil, gold and Forex, and also individual currency strength and the dollar index. So go for the dollar index. I showed you yesterday morning the little double bottom here at the 61% retracement level of this last directional swing, and we saw the break. And now yesterday, if I zoom in, we saw the retest of the candle, and most likely the bounce will come today and later this week up to that moving average. I'll see what happens when it gets to that moving average before I will make a decision if it's going to go further or not. But for now, that should be like a magnet, that moving average. You can see how the market gets to the moving average, stalls, break through, retest the moving average, and then run. So I expect a similar picture here. A test, maybe a little bit of a stall, and then it could run up the page for another one to test the 200 moving, the smaller moving average, the 89 moving average. This is the 200 moving average. However, if it fails over from here, we're in for another leg down the page. Next stop, obviously this levels here at the double bottom lows there. Plus then the next one, this area here coming in from the structure, coming in there before we saw this pattern here. So a lot of potential downside still, but I think for the short term, we should be bullish up to that moving average where I'll make up my mind. Bitcoin at the point of breaking out of this level. So this is the big levels I've been talking about. I said 2 weeks ago, we need to close above the halfway mark of the sweet spots here, of this long black candles we saw on the weekly charts on cryptos. Yesterday I said they're disappointing because they didn't do it last week, but they're pushing those levels now. By breaking this level and close on a weekly basis above, that'll be amazing. That will also kick in and fire up Bitcoin here on this falling wedge pattern. So this is really a very important strong level. We could find heavy resistance here, and then the market could sell off for another leg down the page, or we can cut right through this. So this is the coup de grace. These are the levels. You can see Polkadot also busy breaking through those levels on the weekly charts. You can see here, that's the long black candle, found support, and this is the reversal. Now we need a weekly close above those levels. It won't be a candle reversal pattern anymore, but it will be very significant if we can close on a weekly level above those levels. XRP also pushing, finding resistance. You can see how the market are looking at those halfway marks. So we saw XRP hitting the halfway mark and then fails back. Now it needs to push above that level of 250, 255. Once we can get that, we just need to close above that level, which is about 275, 280, and that will ignite a brand new bull trend for us based on the technicals here. Before we continue, thank you for today's sponsor, Inkasu. Do you struggle with customer queries that takes up all your time? Contact Inkasu to help transform your website customer focus with an integrated AI staff member. For more info, check out the link in the description. XLM also pushing right up this level on the short term here, but I'm after that level. Let me zoom in more. I'm after that halfway mark level. So we're almost there, almost there. We just need to close above that on a weekly basis. Chainlink pushing very nicely through that sweet spot level. So if we can get a close there, it would be great. But this big falling pattern is forming. We're seeing some support stepping in, and I need the weekly close up there. Once I see the weekly close up there, I'll be very positive towards it. Then the breakout there would be the next step for us to look forward to. Solana also pushing for that halfway mark, getting very close. This is still a strong chart. This could still be a morning star because the two small bodies here can be combined into one, and a weekly close above the halfway mark here, which is about 150. I need to close above 150 on a weekly basis. Then that would be a very nice strong bullish reversal for us on the weekly charts. We move on to the currencies again here. We can see the trend lines. I showed you yesterday a bunch. You can watch yesterday's video. I'm not going to talk about all of them. I showed you a bunch of them. You can see on the US yen, we got the strong bounce and now potential retracement. So this is the area we were looking for long-term longs, because the trend has just changed here. We got the confirmation on the trend line breakout, and now we're looking for long setups. Anything here, we could get maybe another pattern or something, or maybe another retest, but this is the time to look for longs here, definitely. Dollar, very strong, but on the intraday losing a little bit of steam. But over the longer term period, I think we should still see some dollar strength coming in until we hit that moving average on the daily charts I've showed you in the beginning of the video. If you look at the Aussie New Zealand also, we had this big trend line, 1, 2, and then the third one, the fourth attempt, the break, the retest. This is now the area to look for some reversals, some patterns, anything that you like to do on the markets. This is the time to look for some longs. The trend has not changed upwards here yet, but that should change within a day or two. But this is time to really do your analysis and make sure you get some entries at your preferred kind of entry levels that you do. Brent oil, I showed this yesterday, it's pushing. We got this rising trend line, the coup de grace now. I'm not saying it will drop from here. I'm saying is a lot of resistance will kick in at this level, which is already happening yesterday on the high wave candle. Still pushing, looking very strong at this stage. But if the bulls will give up and the bears will take control, we will have to see a close below the halfway mark here of this white candle. That should be a strong evening star reversal, and that would ignite on a daily chart, well, the bearishness of the existing bearish trend. So it would be the break of the base, the retest, and then a counter reversal there could predict another new low coming up in the next few months. If you look at New Zealand Swiss, look at this channel that I've showed you yesterday morning. It's the break, the retest, and now running up the page. So this is how New Zealand has got a lot of the sparkle. It's really flying and pushing in the markets. So this is where we can look at some longer term bullishness. But remember now, New Zealand, don't expect big ones. If you look at the history, you can see it's very spiky, very choppy, very difficult. So if you enter into anything here, set a decent target, but basically on those recent highs there, that is the pattern minimum target objective that we can see here. Gold pushing, breaking, retesting, and now looking for some longs here on the 4-hour chart here. You can see clearly here. But yeah, dollar busy weakening, which should give some bullishness onto gold. But if I can get gold to give me a decent entry here, I am long here, only a small long, but I'm long, and trying to get some additional entries here on this one. Look at the New Zealand yen. We're approaching that falling trend line at high speed. New Zealand really got a lot of sparkle there. The yen bottom of the pile where it belongs. So this is something to watch. Put your watch list on and see if something happens there, the break and a retest, any form of entry that you love to do. That is a big area to be New Zealand long. Also, pound Australia, look how it drops now through that level I showed you yesterday. Tested 1, 2, 3, broke on the 4th attempt now, going down like a rock, and this is what we're after. So this is now time to look for entries here. Any form of entry you like would be suitable. US CAT also breaking down, CAT outperforming the dollar. If you look at this rising trend line here, tested 1, 2, 3, 4 times. It breaks now on the 5th attempt and coming down nicely. So this is the area now that we start to look for shorts, maybe retracements, candle reversals, another patterns forming, but the trend is reversed bearish here already. And now this is the time to look. Don't chase, don't do stupid things. Just try to get some retracements and see if we can get some nice entries here on confirmations, which you like a lot. You can see the dollar losing steam against the CAT. CAT absolutely all the sparkle, and that's where you want to be long, and you want to be short on all the red ones, the pound, the euro, and the yen. But guys, trading isn't just about my insights. Please fill up the comments below this video. You can support this channel by checking out all the links in the description. Thank you for joining me today on this trading journey. Remember that trading carries risk, so don't forget to trade responsibly and never ever trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Can't wait to see my next video. Until then, trade well.